The thing that is a refrain the industry keeps on coming back to is that you won't be replaced by an AI, but you'll be replaced by a human that is using AI.
Hey, welcome back to Useful AI Hacks, your go-to channel for the latest breakthroughs and rising stars in the world of artificial intelligence. If you're not subscribed yet, go ahead and smash that button now, because today we're diving into a game-changing AI platform you've probably never heard of. It's called Hebbia, and it's quietly transforming how some of the world's most powerful companies operate. So, what exactly is Hebbia? Hebbia is an enterprise-grade AI platform built to replace the grunt work of knowledge professionals. Think finance analysts, lawyers, consultants, and even government employees. Founded in 2020 by George Civolka, a Stanford PhD dropout and former quantum physics researcher, Hebbia uses large language models to give professionals an AI-powered co-worker that can actually think through complex documents. Their flagship product is called Matrix, a system that lets users ask incredibly complicated questions across thousands of documents like PDFs, spreadsheets, filings, and contracts, and get intelligent, citation-backed answers in seconds. But Hebbia isn't just some prototype. This thing is live inside real-world companies, big ones. Firms like BlackRock, KKR, MetLife, and even the US Air Force are already using Hebbia to streamline tasks that would normally take hours or even days. For example, need to comb through 400 financial filings to build a valuation model? Hebbia does it in minutes. Trying to draft a first-pass investment memo from a mess of deal notes and emails? Hebbia's on it. Digging through NDAs, vendor contracts, or legal discovery files? Matrix can sift through all of it and give you highlights with direct references. According to Hebbia's CEO, the goal isn't to replace humans, but to eliminate the low-leverage work. In his words, it's like having a really capable intern who never gets tired. Now here's where it gets interesting. Hebbia recently raised a massive $130 million Series B round, backed by some of the biggest names in tech. Andreessen Horowitz, Index Ventures, Google Ventures, Peter Thiel, Eric Schmidt, and even Yahoo co-founder Jerry
That is a
Yang.
refrain the industry keeps on coming back to, is that you won't be replaced by an AI, but you'll be replaced by a human that is using AI.
Do you believe that? He has a passion for innovation and leadership, driving his company's mission to revolutionize the way we harness knowledge through advanced AI solutions. We are excited to hear George Civolka's insight today, co-founder and CEO of Hebbia AI. For our audience, myself included, just explain briefly what Hebbia is, what you're doing that's so exciting.
Hebbia allows finance, legal, even just a variety of professional services firms to build AI agents for their custom workflows. Whereas a lot of current AI applications you might use every day, like ChatGPT, you're chatting in a very transactional way with AI. Hebbia lets you build agents where you can actually have nonstop, asynchronous, or repetitive, back and forth relationships with AI.
It's so interesting too, because this whole AI revolution is really impacting white collar jobs in a way that I don't think we've ever seen before, right? Typically it's the blue collar jobs. Are people you talk to or companies you work with, are they alarmed about that?
The thing that is a refrain the industry keeps on coming back to is that you won't be replaced by an AI, but you'll be replaced by a human that is using AI.
Do you believe that?
I do. I actually think that agents as they exist today are very generic. And in order to get AI to do things that are outside of the norm or custom or really specialized, you actually need to work very closely alongside it. It's almost like having a really capable intern or new graduate from college and being the capable MD or partner that shows their team how to actually run a process, for example.
Do you think that AI will essentially make our lives easier instead of just adding more work to everything that we're already doing?
It's one of the things that I keep on thinking about, and it's almost like an existential question for our industry. If you look at even just B2B software over the last 20 years, the more that businesses spend on software as a service, actually productivity per employee rarely changes. And I think there's a lot of promise for AI actually changing that. And I think it's still very early, especially in white collar jobs, which are the ones that we focus on. But we're starting to see some like actual tangible changes. Now we have new paradigms of AI actually delivering hours and hours of time savings per the hour that you put in.
Are you staying abreast of all of the technological advancements in AI? Because you have to meet your customers' needs and then constantly be innovating.
We've got amazing partnerships with OpenAI, with Anthropic, with all of the people that are leading the cutting edge on the industry side. An interesting thing about building a company in New York is that in SF, everyone has groupthink. So people are working on the exact same thing. You're looking over your friend's shoulder to see what they're building, and you're kind of repurposing that. Part of the reason Hebbia was first to many of the biggest advancements in the field is because I'm not in SF. We exist in our own little bubble where we can really understand our user pain, really deeply understand the technology, and go and build completely new paradigms versus kind of looking to your left or your right and building what the competition is building.
You were in a fully funded PhD program. You worked at NASA, and then you decided to drop out and start this company. That takes a lot of confidence, I would imagine. I
remember wanting my whole life to be an academic. And wanting to be a researcher and a professor, and that being like one of the highest callings for me. So I wasn't called to entrepreneurship in like a very traditional sense. I did undergrad, master's, PhD, all at Stanford, and then through those 3-degree programs, it was very clear to me, if you find a place where there's a lot of pain, you should build a company where there's pain. And at the same time, I remember, a lot of my peers going out into white collar jobs, becoming investment bankers, becoming investors if they were lucky, and reporting back to me saying, I hate my life. Some of the smartest people in the world were doing some of the stupidest tasks. And it just made sense for me to go and say, hey, there's pain here. Let's see if we could solve it with the latest and the greatest. And that was where Hebbia was born. So I dropped out of my PhD program. I was making 40 grand a year in the PhD program. That's what fully funded means. But I had $1 million to execute a variety of different research projects and gave it all up, and was living in a closet in East Palo Alto. Spent a year basically waking up every single day, spending 16 hours programming, trying to call different clients, doing it all by myself. Had no co-founder. And it was impossibly difficult because nobody knew what AI was. This was before ChatGPT. So it was like before any of these big moments. And a few, Peter Thiel, a few different investors, and Mike Volpe at Index were some of the first people to believe in me and believe in the vision.
Andreessen, I believe.
And then Andreessen more recently, actually.
Are you paying attention to AI regulation? Is that something that you want to have a voice in?
DC and Silicon Valley, or I guess New York, need to come together and figure out the right way to regulate AI. And I'm probably more free market, hey, let's just build the best products than other folks out there. I think that the administration...
That funding brought Hebbia's valuation to $700 million. And here's the kicker. They did it all before going mainstream. In just 18 months, Hebbia grew revenue 15x and quintupled their headcount. That's explosive growth in a sector that's usually slow to adopt anything new. So what makes Hebbia stand out in an increasingly crowded AI market? Well, it's not trying to be a ChatGPT clone. Hebbia is built for work, for regulated industries, and for teams who don't just want answers. They need traceability, context, and actual automation. Matrix doesn't just summarize, it thinks through questions, validates answers with citations, and integrates into real workflows. This is AI built for due diligence, compliance, deal-making, legal, research, and government contracts. In other words, it's not flashy, it's powerful. Looking ahead, Hebbia is doubling down on becoming a foundational tool for high-leverage teams. That means deeper integrations with enterprise systems, more natural language interfaces, and even more automation around the busy work that eats up professional time. We're talking full AI agents that don't just answer your questions, they get work done. Expect Hebbia to show up in more Fortune 500 workflows, more legal tech tools, and likely more global government systems. And the best part? Most people still haven't heard of it. So If you're wondering where the real AI revolution is happening, it's platforms like Hebbia, not trying to go viral with AI selfies, but quietly rebuilding how work gets done inside trillion-dollar industries. If you found this helpful, give it a like, drop a comment with what AI platform we should cover next, and don't forget to subscribe to Useful AI Hacks. We post the latest, most impactful AI news every morning. Thanks for watching. See you tomorrow at 11 a.m.